guys, welcome back to my channel, and welcome to this week's weekly reading check-in. This is perhaps not as great of an update as I wanted to give you guys, I guess, but we're just gonna roll with it. I did finish 2 whole books last week. I will get to those momentarily. Let's just say that my habit of binging short romances is holding solid, but I'll get to those in just a second. So I am still reading House of Sky and Breath. Again, not going to say too much about my thoughts on it here. I am updating my reading vlog that I'm doing for this. Obviously, it's slow going, and it's not slow going because of the book itself. It's slow going because I refuse to buy an ebook of this, and I refuse to buy the audiobook of this because I'm enjoying it the way that I am in taking it. But the fact, I've said this before, the fact that I read it physically does mean that I'm going to read it a lot more slower than I usually do. Honestly, if I just need one solid weekend evening where I can just sit down and do nothing for like 4 or 5 hours, because I'm 530 pages in. It's 800 pages long. Like, I can easily knock that out in a few hours if I can just sit down and dedicate myself to it. But the problem is that I haven't had that kind of weekend since it came in. My parents were visiting this last weekend, and I obviously didn't want to closet myself away in a room and not see them for multiple days while I was trying to get this done. So reading 50 to 100 pages every single night is where we're at, which means that this is going very, very slow. That's all I'm going to say about that one. I am also still in the middle of reading this beauty, which is Rhythm of War. I am 100% just taking this moment to show off the Kraken dust jackets because I am obsessed with them. Daniel Green put out a review of these about how he thought that they were a little underwhelming. Honestly, I'm obsessed with it. I think that perhaps he was a little dramatic in his video. I love these. I love the feel on the book. I think that they feel really nice. They feel like a normal dust jacket. I think that the art is well worth the price, and they're absolutely gorgeous. The artwork on these is beautiful. So yes, I am holding this up to show off my copy of Rhythm of War because I'm obsessed with these dust jackets. I am still working on the audiobook for this. I'm maybe 40% of the way through it now, somewhere around there. My copy, my library copy of the audiobook is about to expire, and I have mostly been reading it audibly, so it's possible that I will be putting a pause on this until I can get a hold of the audiobook again through the library. I could probably get it through Audible, I just haven't done that yet. I don't really know why. Maybe I'll do that instead. We'll see. But I am really enjoying it, and I knew that I would. There's never any, like, lack of desire to pick it up. It's just that it's so time consuming to pick it up that I'm not really putting myself under any time constraints to get this finished. I'm just enjoying it as I go, and apparently that means that I am at the whims of my library's hold system. So yeah, we're about 40% of the way through. I'm loving it. I'm loving Dalinar in this, but not as much as I'm loving the situation with Kaladin, coming to terms with a lot of his shortcomings and finally being forced to face what is affecting him this entire time. Like, he's really coming to terms with his depression, and he's really accepting what it is that it is affecting him and how he can, like, help himself for once instead of focusing on helping other people. Shallan's whole story is really not it for me. I don't really know. I think that, like, the thing is that she's trying to deal with PTSD from what happened in her childhood. I'm not really into it, though. Like, Adolin's really just trying to be there for her, and she is just in 100% denial, even though he straight up told her that none of it's gonna matter to him. I don't know. I'm not gonna say any more about it other than that, but, like, it's her thing is really bothering me right now. But yeah, that's where I'm at on Rhythm of War. I am enjoying it. I am going to continue trucking along through it and just letting myself take my time and enjoying where the story goes, because it's not like Stormlight 5 is coming out anytime in the near future, so I do have plenty of time to read this before that happens. The last chunky fantasy that I am still in the middle of, which I was in the middle of last week, is The Hunger of the Gods by John Gwynn. I don't have a physical copy of it, obviously. I have the e-arc, so I am reading that, and I'm probably 30%-ish of the way in now. I'm liking it. It's slow as of right now, and I think that that's kind of a thing with John Gwynn, is that the beginnings of the books do tend to start out a little bit slower, so I always read them a little bit slower, but then as soon as things start to pick up, you're just kind of like bam, 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 waiting for the next big action scene to happen. So I'm kind of waiting for that, but as of right now, I'm enjoying where all of the characters are, where we left them off in Shadow of the Gods. There were some pretty big reveals that happened at the very end of that book, so I am really, really enjoying seeing where they're at now. And now for the 2 books that I finished last week. I need to preface this with the fact that I've been watching this TV show. I don't know if any of you have heard of it, but it's called The Cleaning Lady. It's on, I don't know what channel it's on, but it's called The Cleaning Lady, and it's essentially about how this woman was cleaning a warehouse, like her job. She's a housekeeper essentially, like a traveling housekeeper, and she witnessed a murder at a warehouse that she cleans, and she kind of got sucked into the mob to clean up their murder scenes for them, or anything that they need her to clean up. And they offer her a lot of cash, and she has a very sick son, and she has a need for money, and so that's kind of how she gets sucked into it. But there's like this dark romance element going on with like the second in command for the mafia, what, I don't know what the crime organization that is in this TV show. She's kind of, there's like an undercurrent of sexual tension going on there that I've really been digging, but I'm not getting any resolution from. So because of that, I went searching for dark mafia romances last week, and I found 2 of them with varying degrees of success. So the first one that I read was King of Vegas by Renee Rose, and I really enjoyed this. I ended up giving it like a 4.25, I think, and it's essentially very similar in that this girl is a housekeeper for a hotel, and it's very well known that this casino in Vegas is owned by a crime family out of Italy, and the particular owner of this casino lives in the penthouses on the very top floor. One day, the housekeeping staff is really short-handed, and so she's accidentally caught in his suite where she's not technically supposed to be, but she's doing is cleaning, and he catches her there and immediately is attracted to her, but is also very paranoid about the reason why she could be there. Scares the crap out of her, essentially, and then they kind of just keep playing this cat and mouse thing where she keeps showing up in his penthouse and he keeps warning her away, and it was very smutty. There was plot, so that was good, and I enjoyed the plot a lot more than I think I enjoyed the plot of the second book. I enjoyed this particular male lead of the romance novel more than I did in the next book that I'm going to talk about, so I don't remember their names literally at all. It was just like a quick, fun, easy romance read that was giving me those dark mafia romance vibes that I was craving after not getting what I needed out of The Cleaning Lady. The next dark mafia romance book that I ended up reading was King of Diamonds by, I don't remember the author's name, but I will pop it up over here so that you guys can see the cover of it. And this was kind of similar, except this time she is a stripper in Vegas, and at the end of her shift, she was supposed to go and meet with this guy who requested her. She's kind of desperate and down on her luck because her boyfriend just got arrested and left her with all of this debt, and she's really worried about paying it all back. And the guy that requested time afterwards with her ends up getting interrupted because there's business that he has to deal with. So he just kind of abruptly leaves, and I guess she ends up following him, and she kind of ends up seeing his people, his underlings, murder the owner of this, or the manager, I guess, of the strip club. And the guy who had requested time with her afterwards ends up being a very high-ranking person, again, I think, with an Italian mob? Maybe? Apparently that's what I decided to go for. And he's supposed to kill her because obviously they don't want any witnesses, but instead he takes her back to his hotel with him and is trying to figure out what to do with her. And they kind of just develop a relationship. Like, he definitely kidnapped her, but he's not forcing her to do anything. So yeah, it was cute. It got pretty dark in comparison to the other one that I was reading. It definitely was a lot darker in terms of all of that. It was still okay. I ended up giving it 4 stars. Again, it delivered exactly what I needed it to. I don't remember either of their names, but it was entertaining, and I was enjoying it while I was reading it. I think that covers all of the things that I was reading over the last week. Like I said, I didn't get as much reading done as I wanted to. Those 2 were really quick, easy reads that I ended up finishing. The main, large, chunky fantasies that I needed to finish, I did not. So we're still working on that. The Game of Tomes-a-thon is currently going on. It is March, so that is underway. I am trying to read books for those prompts, and I don't really know how much success I've been having. Okay, so in terms of continuing a series, technically I am doing that by reading The Hunger of the Gods. I really wish we could double up, though, because read a book with an animal would also work for The Hunger of the Gods. I don't know which one of those I'm going to use yet. Read a book with a gray or silver cover. I don't think that I have covered that one yet. And read a book featuring a quest or a journey. I don't really know. Well, I'll have to think on that. Maybe I'll think on these towards the end of the month and see what actually fits where. And then finally, read a book where somebody is in training. Yeah, I don't think I've hit that one yet either. Also, the Aurelium Magical Readathon Gearing Up week has started as of today, and reading a book with a blade on the cover, maybe Hunger of the Gods fits that. I'll have to. They're very tiny people, so they would be very tiny blades. So maybe one of those fits for that, because I am still reading that, and like I said, I'm only 20% of the way in, so I'm gonna count that. And a crystal in the title series, I don't think I've done that. King of Diamonds was last week, so that wouldn't work. And then an ebook, I definitely have that covered because I'm reading a lot of things via ebook, so theoretically, we should be good. I guess I might have to start Jade War this week, though, if that's the case, because that is the book that I chose on my TBR that has a crystal in the name. We'll have to see. I might have to switch something out with that and make it work, because that's lengthy, and like I said, I'm not powering through these big, large fantasies as quickly as I wanted to. So, yeah. Alright, that is officially all of the things that I had to talk about that happened over the last week. Hopefully this upcoming week is a little bit more productive reading-wise and content-wise, because I didn't get a chance to film anything this weekend, which is why this video is going up later than I had planned for it to. And then the one last thing that I did want to mention is check out the newest Hello Lovely shirt that I got. So it says Fantasy Readers Club, and then that's the design that's on the back. And then I also got this Book Travert shirt, which I'm obsessed with, and it's so soft. I can't wait to wear it. I just finally washed it, so I'll be wearing it sometime soon. But yeah, that is officially all of the things that I wanted to talk about. I'm obsessed with this sweatshirt. It's the comfiest thing that I have ever worn outside of the other comfy sweatshirt that I got from Hello Lovely. So that's it for this wrap up today, guys. Don't forget to like this video if you liked it, and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more content from me. Under this video, you're going to see my description box where I'll have a rep code for Hello Lovely box, which will get you 15% off of your order. Under that are links to my Goodreads, my Twitter, and my Instagram in case you wanted to follow me on any of those. But that's it for me today, guys, so I'll talk to you in my next one. Bye!